Hi friends, Friendly Mike here. I know what you're thinking. I've been working hard. I deserve something special. I want a boat. Nah, not a cabin cruiser, not a sailboat. I want something really unique. So have I got just the thing for you? No, not this boat. That boat.
Call BR 549. Own your own Ruski U-boat today.
Some young punk cuts you off at water skiing in the marina. This thing comes with sonar and torpedoes. And if you call right now, in the next 15 minutes, operators are standing by. We'll even throw in VHS copies of Hunt for Red October, Crimson Tide, and
K-19, the Widowmaker.
So call now, operators are standing by. All this can be yours from Friendly Mike.
There's the bow. Here's our entry. And there's the stern. And Mike, you were saying about the funnels?
I'm sorry?
The funnels?
Oh, yeah,
Let's come around here and take a look at the funnels.
I mentioned that the ship is not floating, it's resting on a concrete pad. And the funnels are synthetic. Those are not the original funnels because they were crumbling. So they made, I believe, fiberglass or synthetic funnels when the ship arrived here in 1968. And it's been repainted numerous times, but I was just surprised because they had just repainted, unless they didn't do the third one for whatever reason.
That middle one does look a lot better shape.
Yeah, I think maybe that still has to go.
And you said they removed the lifeboats.
They removed the lifeboats because the wood, when they had termites, for whatever reason, the wood was deteriorating so fast. I guess exposure to the salt air.
Okay, so the beauty of this is it is the original interior, complete with gift shops. And the grand stairway. Not exactly the Titanic, but then this thing didn't sink. Okay, we have a very large Lego Queen Mary. Complete with a little Lego sailor.
1934.
34 she was launched, okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
A gajillion Legos.
That is amazing.
That's pretty cool. Their gallery, they have this model of the Titanic. And of course, we all know the water started to fill in here. And it shows, the red lines show how far up the watertight bulkheads went. They'd gone all the way, she might have survived. And
The coal.
yeah, even got the coal in there. Ah, there's your grand staircase from the Titanic. And the first class everything, and then down to the steerage compartments, engine rooms, the bowels of the ship. We go around the other side.
We are on the Queen Mary, built in 1930.
And of course, one thing you can tell the difference between the Queen Mary and the Titanic is the shape of the bow. 1914 versus 1934, 20-year difference in the technology. Okay, so we're looking at this cathedral ceilinged hotel.
It's the second high-rise next to that. It's the white one with the green roof.
Yeah, white with a green roof, right, Les Farrell. Now the water goes all the way over there. When Hughes flew the H-1 for that brief flight, he started there.
None of the marina was here.
Okay, the marina wasn't here, and he went to the left and lifted off over here.
Yep.
And that's the city of Long Beach.
Very cool, a lot of wood and very cool.
This other ship is the French liner Normandy. Okay. The sign, one of the signs from this ship, the famous which you'll see on the other side, is actually the sign that's on the Normandy Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is currently undergoing restoration, the hotel. A lot of glare here. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. Hold man. Man, look at that dining area. Beautiful model building. And let's go on around and get some still pictures of the other side. It was your grandfather?
My grandfather.
We're standing right where it was the cutaways at there, so you're going to send a picture and we'll show it compared to
Came here
this.
from Paris, France in 1915. Started a women's fashion design business. Had a studio on Broadway in Manhattan, and sailed to Europe every fall to get the new fall fashions from France.
Ah, clever. This is a cutaway of the Lusitania. I'm gonna see if I can find some pictures online because with all this glare, I can't really get that particularly good ones here. But just elegant model work and massive. God, I hate to think what this thing called this kit model cost to build. Or not kit model, what this model cost to
And
build.
then the other thing is, can you imagine transporting this someplace?
Oh yeah, you got to get it here. I'll take some.
I think it breaks into like 5 sections or something. It's a whole story.
I'll get some
Thanks
stills.
for nautical design when you compare the look of that and the look of this.
This is the Queen Victoria versus the Queen Elizabeth. Two. The QE2. 40 millimeter Bofors guns, you know, just in case. No fishing, no netting, so I can't wear my fishnet stockings. Guys, here we are on the SS Ken Mix while he is rigging the depth charges. We're going to go hunt inflatable submarines. Okay, this is the down below, and apparently there's a leak in the forward hatch. So we got to take this thing over, get fueled up, get the air conditioner run, try to fix the AC, and fix that leak before the live stream tonight. Boat ownership. Here's the aft cabin, which is, of course, all pulled up so they can get access to the engines and everything. The galley.
Aft air conditioner water pump.
Aft air conditioner water pump. There's the living space. There's Captain Ken. There's the lavatory.
Which has a separate shower.
A separate shower, which is not a small thing
On a boat this size.
on a boat this size. That's right. And then we go to the bow, which has, how do you describe this?
This is the V-berth.
V-berth. Yeah. So a completely livable boat. Unfortunately, that's what's leaking, right?
Yeah, this is what leaks.
So
on
I'm
top
gonna have
of
to pour,
this.
like say, I have to pour some water on it and see where it leaks. There's the electronics and radio panel. And one thing crawling around a boat like this does is remind us that even though we think like kids and act like kids, we're middle-aged men. All right, guys, we're here with Captain Ken. He's just gonna tell us a little about the history of the boat.
Okay, this boat is it's a Catalina 380. It's 38.5 feet long. Has a 12.5 foot beam. It has a 58-foot mast, if I remember correctly. It's been owned by, I'm the 5th owner of the boat. The original owner of the boat named it Comfortably Numb, obviously a Pink Floyd fan. The previous owner that I bought it from named it Wayward, and I'm going to name it Deep Thought. For those people who are wondering why Deep Thought, well, that way when my wife calls and asks, "Where's Ken?" she can say,
He's in deep thought.
exactly.
So you said 38.5 feet.
38.
Now, is that from the tip of the bowsprit, or is that from the hull length, or the waterline length?
That's the deck length.
Deck length, okay.
Right.
And so this was the air conditioner is the main thing that needs to be fixed.
Well, it's been fixed. I just need to test it. We can't test it here on the mooring because there's no electricity.
And
So,
because why is there no electricity?
because moorings are just hooking onto a ball in the middle of the water.
But don't you have a generator or an APU or something? Or
We do not have a generator, but we do have 750 watts of solar. I think it's a 400 watt windmill. We also have a 100 amp alternator on the engine, so if everything else fails, we can still start the engine up and recharge the batteries. We have lithium batteries on board.
Oh, so the air conditioner runs off the batteries?
The AC runs off the batteries.
Okay. This is a very different system than what I'm used to, obviously, on an airplane where the engine runs a generator that powers everything and the batteries are just for start.
Right, because
So-
the engines are always running.
Right. So this, since the engine's not, of course, since you're under sail, you need a battery, which means if you're out on the open water and everything's working, the batteries can still run down if you're running the AC a lot.
If you're running a lot, yeah.
And which in Florida, the Bahamas, you probably would. So that means you'd have to start the engine to.
It depends. If you're running the main AC unit, it'll only run the main, which is a 16,000 BTU, for probably about 2 hours. We have 300 amp hours of capacity. The aft air conditioner is much smaller. It's a 6,000. It'll probably run not continuously, but once it cools down the cabin, then it shuts down. So it probably runs maybe half the night, and it will run all through the night and keep the aft cabin cool.
Have you thought about installing like an auxiliary power unit? So, well, I mean, or let's say it's the middle of the night. It's the batteries are down. You're not under sail, and you're like, we need some AC. You just crank the engine and let it charge the batteries back up, which I imagine takes a while.
Well, it's a 100 amp alternator. Now, as it warms up, it won't put out 100 amps, but it'll come really close. It's a lot better than the original factory alternator.
How fast can it, how long does it take to recharge the battery?
Without solar or wind, I don't know exactly, but making some rough calculations, without any other draw on the engine, it would take 3 hours, maybe 4 hours to charge the batteries back
So
up.
you have to go into energy management if you want to stay cool all night long.
Yes, you turn everything else off, which you usually do anyway.
Okay.
You don't want anything on that doesn't need to be on. You are in your own little microcosm here.
Our own little biosphere.
You're self-contained. Think of yourself as being on a spaceship, okay? Whatever you have is what you brought with you.
Okay.
So we need to manage our power, which we do. The batteries help a lot. I want to double that size. I want to put in another bank of batteries underneath where I'm sitting right now. So that we have 2 to 3 day capacity in case, you know, the weather's crappy and there's lots of sun and it's raining or whatever. You don't run the batteries down on the first day.
Okay. Well, guys, there's a little insight into life on a boat. And this will probably be part of the intro while everybody's signing on. So we will now return to your regularly scheduled live stream.